Thank you. Thank you, Janai. Thank you, Fifi. Uh, the issue of books, we've tried. We've tried to censure the books within the library. I think about 5 weeks ago, I asked my teachers. Every teacher got 10 to 20 books from the library. They went home and scanned through them, looked through them, and the ones they felt were inappropriate or had inappropriate language were pulled out, and we had to go through those books again and say, okay, let's see the context, let's see the authors, let's see the history of this book. Is it worthwhile to be in our library? And there are some we said, okay, these are good for our library, and these are not good for our library. And that is how we've tried to do that. But also the information we've been getting from you, the parents. A parent walks up to me and says, Mr. Kawuma, my daughter came home with this book. And you know what? I think it was the Holy Spirit that led me, because I normally don't read through books. But at some point, I just decided, let me check the book out. And guess what? My goodness, it's here. Go read it. And I went to my office and I quickly scanned through. Goodness me. Whew. I went to the teacher and I said, scan through this book. I mean, everybody's felt that this book was not meant to be in this school. And we withdrew it. We withdrew it. But that was from a parent. And the parent did not go out on WhatsApp. Because you know what might happen with social media. Just take a shot, a snap, a picture of it, and post on the group. And from the group to another group. From another group, and then you'll have it all over the world. Chinese whispers with a caption, which is not really necessary. So, I want to thank you very much, especially the parents who have come out and said, this book, Mr. Kawuma. And we have had a discussion about the book. And sometimes I'm thinking, oh, the book is okay. And I've directed the parent to why the book is okay. Okay? And sometimes I've said to the parent, you're very right, this book is not meant for us. Let's pull it out. And it's okay. We need to have this dialogue all the time. And it's important. It's not just about the book. There's so many things that we dialogue on. But let me tell you one thing. We can go on and on and on. Because, like I said in the beginning, our children are our treasure. And anything that affects them, we can stay here the whole day discussing that. Let's not stop here. I mean, how I wish everybody who came for a concert was here today. Because we would be reading from the same hymn book. The reason we have this is because things are happening in our homes, things are happening in schools. Children touching their private parts. Guys, don't think it's just a story. It's not a myth. It's real. It has happened. It has happened. And so it is very necessary. Now we can talk about the bigger things, you know, the world is going the other side, but there are things we can deal with here. And we need to deal with them. Let's talk to our children. A parent gave their son to do homework, internet homework. And the child decided he wanted to download a certain song. And as they were downloading, pop-up came through. Okay, click on it. That pop-up took this boy to so many sites of pornography. To gay sites, pornography. But by the time the parent realized that actually my son has been visiting these sites, it was about 2 years now. 2 years. so talks to the boy and says, so tell me, when did this start? Said, it was just a pop-up. This is what happened, and this is what happened, and this is what happened. But remember, the issue of pornography does not just end at looking at it or watching it. It calls other spirits to come in. And I told that parent, I said, you need to go back and sit down with your son and have a conversation. Find out other things, dig deeper. And trust me, if your son has been watching pornography for all these 2 years, there's something else he's doing. And indeed, I was right. When he went back and discussed, he says, yeah, he's been masturbating. So, while we can blame everybody, we can blame the world, there are things that are happening under our nose. Here, in your house. My children don't go for sleepovers, and they know why. And we've discussed that. We've discussed it. Said, you see, we have our values. And families have their own values. But sometimes it's not their fault. Their children could be exposed to different things by their cousins. It's a whole network. And you might be put into a situation that will be uncomfortable and regrettable for the whole of your life. And so I will protect you here when I can. So there are things we will do to protect our children for now. And I'm not going to tell you that what works for me works for you. Design your own, because you have your own beliefs and values systems. But when it comes to school, we have something more universal that will have to protect our children here in school. It would be really nice if you synced in. But sometimes it's not, because again, some parents are more liberal than others. But when we're here, there are things we will say no to. There are things we will believe in. There are things we will value. We will respect. And that's it. And that will be our gospel. Okay? So, please, work with this as a school. Work with us. Don't step back. You see, sometimes there are symptoms. And when you see those symptoms, talk about them. Don't wait. Don't wait. You might end up like this child who has been watching pornography for the last 2 years. Yet it could have been arrested and the child helped. So, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to stop here because it's already midday. Midday. We're supposed to end at midday. We started late. Apologies again. But I do appreciate your patience and your effort in being here and parenting our children. We are going to do our best to ensure that we equip our children to be able to navigate the world and their way of life as long as we're still here. We still have not forgotten our key stage 1. We're still looking at a very appropriate method and ways of, equipping those ones as well. But remember some of the things that Fifi and Janai have talked about. Some of those things can apply to key stage 1. I'm talking about 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds. Okay? You can apply though. The safety network is important. The secret code is also important. Okay? I ask my teachers to be here because 1, they are with the children throughout the day, but 2, some of them are parents, and others are aspiring to be parents. So it is important for all of us. So thank you, teachers, for coming, sparing your Saturday, and being here with us. So let's put our hands together and appreciate Fifi and Janai. And by the way, they have not charged us for this morning. So thank you very much. I know there's always a lot to do. A lot to do. We continue with these conversations. Please, note in your diary, on the 1st of February, we are here for our maths morning. We'll do a carousel. A carousel is simply, you will be in groups, okay? And you will have a time frame to when you will be in one class and move to another class like that. To see how we teach mathematics, but also to be equipped on how you can support your children at home. Thank you very much. Have a lovely afternoon and the rest of the weekend. God bless you. Let's stand up and say the words of the grace together. If you still have burning questions, I know some of you are sitting there and thinking, my question has not been answered. Please, you can stay back, a little back. Fifi and Janai will stay a little bit around and then we can have a conversation. The words of the grace together. May grace. May you now go in peace and not in pieces.